is a quick demonstration of Scroll Classy, which is one of the plugins I've created. It allows you to add a class to an element as you scroll through. I'm just going to show you how quick it is to set it up, and then I'll say a couple of things about what else it can do. So I've just got basically some sections and columns. Nothing is added, nothing taken away. And I'm going to add to one of those columns a heading. So none of these things have any classes or anything set up. We're going to do all of that. So the first things first, with our heading, we're going to say I want to create a class, and I'm going to create test class because I'm so imaginative. And that is now the class that we're going to target. Next, we're going to create a class, and we'll call it new class. Now, new class, we're just setting it up here, but it could be in your style sheet, it could be any class. You could create it anywhere. I'm creating it here so we can just see it happening, but it doesn't have to be a class you create in Breakdance. So that now has turned our text orange. So I save that. We now have a class where our text is orange, but I don't want it now. I'm going to use it later. So now I have a heading with test class, which if I just duplicate it a couple of times and my nicely spaced out column, there we are, 4 headings. And over here, just so that we can see as a control, a normal heading, H4, this does not have any class added to it. Okay, so let's just pad that out in the same way, because why not? So now we have 2 columns, one with classes, one without, and we're ready to add our scroll classy. I'm just going to close that and close that. So you see we've got test class and new class. Test class is on our heading, new class we're going to add now. So we add scroll classy. Scroll classy can go anywhere. It will disappear on the front end if you put nothing in it. It will be a 0 size div. So we're going to put it above our columns just to keep it out of the way. However, if I put something inside scroll classy, it becomes the target. So if I put a heading inside scroll classy, the class itself will be added to scroll classy. So you can target that heading by using the class name and H1, for example. So you could put anything in there you want. You could put whole sections of exciting things in there. For the minute, we're just going to concentrate on targeting something outside of scroll classy. So our target, as we've just set up, is our test class. We want to affect our test class. And just to be clear, which I haven't done myself, look, you need to put a dot on the front. We'll remind you there, and if you're like me, you'll constantly forget. Because just to keep things interesting, the new class does not have a dot. The reason for this is that this could be a class, or it could be an ID, or it could be a section, a selector. So if I were to put section, this will now add new class to every section. So that is literally every section here, which, as you can imagine, means that you can do things like change the background color or other effects on every section as you scroll, which can be quite a nice effect. For the time being, let's go back to targeting our test class and adding new class to it. You can see already, I mean, it's gone orange. We've added our new class because we haven't told it when, so it just adds it. So let's change our minds and say that our effect should not happen until we're 70% from the top. So it won't kick in until we reach 70%. Now, at the moment, the trigger for when we've reached 70% is the scroll classy div itself. Okay, so if we save this and we go and have a look on the front, then let's scroll so that won't help. Let's try again, refresh the screen, and then as we come in, there is no class applied, and then boom, scroll classy hits 70%, the class is applied, and we're gone. Now when you scroll back down, that's it. It's just, there you go, it's applied it now and it's done. However, if we change this to repeat and then save that, when we come back to our screen, you can see that it switches it on and off now. So when it hits 70%, it turns it on. When it goes back to 70%, it switches it back off. And we can also say when we want it to end. So when the top of our item hits, say, 30%. So we save that. So now when the top of our item is, let's refresh the screen. When the top of our item is 30% away, it removes the class. Now it's targeting them all at once because we've just said to scroll classy, please target test class, and in every instance add new class, and that's it. Helpful if you want all of the items in a section, for example, to change at the same time. But if you would rather, you can choose rolling, and then once you've got rolling set up, which we can see in the builder, but I'm going to go here, you can see rolling adds the class to each item as the item itself hits 70% and 30%. So now instead of targeting scroll classy and saying where is it, it's looking at every instance of the class and saying where's that, and when it's in the right place, adding the class to it. So now you get this nice rolling effect. As I said, you can choose section in there and you'll get the rolling effect across every section in Breakdance. But you know, more or less, that is scroll classy. You can add multiple scroll classes, so I could have this target, say, test class, and then add a second scroll classy that targeted test class and added second class to it. If I do that and change my start and end points, I can have it going from orange to green to red to blue. I can do whatever I like with it. But that's its main job, and thank you for watching.